So hello everyone, my name is Marina Gnetova. I represent Joint Secretariat and the Managing Authority of the program. And today we'll lead you through the topic how to design a project. The content of my presentation is I will start with the program requirements, then we'll tell you how to plan project objectives. We'll talk about project work plan, how to plan outputs and results, some words about durability, again to remind you, and some observations from the first call based on assessed and submitted projects. We'll have some recommendations how to avoid some typical mistakes, and then a bit we'll touch topic how to apply for project in jumps. So let's start with the program requirements, because this is the most important part. If the project doesn't contribute to program, then the chances to be approved are very low. In this slide, I think it's very simple scheme, just in simple words to tell you that the program has set up its priorities, specific objectives, outputs and results, and has promised to the European Commission to achieve all this by investing in projects, by allocating funding into projects. And from project side, of course, outputs and results and objectives must be achieved, with all this contributing to program objectives, outputs and results. If we look at project structure, then you see that all this is wrapped in one scheme, and project partners must plan project work plan. So from the bottom, by delivering project activities, deliverables according to exact time plan, project partners would achieve project outputs, results, project objectives, specific ones, and communication objectives. So this is in general, and now to practical part, how to plan, how to set correctly project objectives. The first one, maybe those who already have participated in our program in previous period and previous call, you already know that when you start developing application form, the first input field comes with a project overall objective. And this is a statement which is showing, is informing us what the project is trying to achieve without any major details in general. And this statement must be linked and directly linked to program priority or specific objective. So for your consideration, there is one example, but please don't copy, just this is an example to show the logic. So in some mixed project partners planned to increase number of visitors in the program area through developing and promoting 2 joint cross-border nature trails. So in general, we understand what will be done in the project, that partners are going to increase number of tourists to their regions, and they will develop 2 nature trails. Then, if we go to the next level, then each project must have its specific objectives. And from the title, you might guess that this specific objective already must say details what will be achieved in some particular work package, and approximately you can understand what the activities will be. And for example, project partners are going to develop map of skiing routes and destinations in Latvia and Lithuania by inspecting skiing destinations. So I presume that in some work package, according to this specific objective, there shall be activities planned when partners are going for on-spots to inspect skiing destinations in order to develop this map. And the the third, it is a communication objective, which also must be in the project. Andres has already a bit touched this topic about communication, but since this one structure, I will give you some examples as well. So communication objective shall aim at changes of target groups' behavior, knowledge, or belief. So there are 3 examples for your consideration. All are correct. Just choose which best fits to your project, to the project work package. And the difference is very simple, I think, to understand. So if you see the table, the first example is a specific objective when the audience want to believe or feel. Yeah, so for example, farmers from the Vente and Lielupe catchments will believe that crop rotation schemes can reduce agricultural pollution and be economically beneficial. So they believe for that. The next example with the same project with the same project idea, when communication objective is targeted that the audience knows. And in this example, it's already formulated like farmers from Vente and Lielupe catchments will know how to use optimal crop rotation schemes. So the communication activities already shall be relevant and linked to this communication objective. And the third example, it is for communication objective, how to change behavior of the target group. And in this example, you see that by some communication activities, farmers from Vente and Lielupe catchment will choose to grow crops that reduce agricultural pollution. So for this communication objective, farmers will need to do something, to choose to grow crops. So again, this is just to let you know how it might look in your project. Just feel free to use these examples to understand better the logic, but not just to copy to your applications. The next, according to project structure, would be a project work plan. Very important, and I would say the main part of the project application, when we see and we understand what the project will do, will deliver to achieve its targets and objectives. Project work plan consists of work package. They can be more, like up to 2 or 3. On the green picture, you see the structure of work package, and the work plan might consist of several work packages, as I mentioned already, but please don't create more than 2 or 3 work packages, because then the project structure is very heavy, and heavy for you for implementation, heavy for us for assessment. So each work package has a exact structure, project-specific objective, communication objective, and then set of activities and deliverables. In the next slides, I will tell you how to plan and set up activities and deliverables, but here some information about the work plan. So please be informed that the work plan will be prepared for the whole project implementation period. That's why please be precise, plan activities, deliverables, objectives correctly. The work plan is used for assessment, and from the work plan, assessors can understand what will be done in the project, the logic, the activities, and partners involved. Changes in the work plan are possible during project implementation, but it shall go according to procedure. Some small changes are possible without changes in the application form, but these are minor deviations. Please, again, follow our recommendations and rules of the program manual. Please don't make separate work packages for project management, investments, or communication. Those who participated in 14-20 period, you remember that we had such work packages before, But now in new system in GEMS, there is no need to create separate work packages. This was one of observation from the first call project, that part of projects still they create separately these work packages. Yeah, and as I already mentioned, just ensure that activities deliverables are prepared in logical sequence, in a correct timeline, and activities and deliverables, they are targeted at achievement of project-specific objectives for the work plan. Project activity, an element for the work package, and this is a specific task performed for which resources are planned, and the result of activity is a deliverable. So you see on the screen the structure. Activity is a task, what needs to be done, and deliverable is already a result. Each activity must have at least one deliverable. Number of deliverables is not limited. You may have 2, 5 or more, but again, please don't have them a lot. Check the structure of your work package. If needed, you can have more activities and deliver with deliverables rather than, I don't know, 2 activities when with 10, 15 deliverables after each. However, there is no, how to say, brilliant recommendation how to plan activities and deliverables. This all is specific case by case for each project. Some partners are asking us, like, what is a perfect structure? There is no such. Just use your logic so that we understand how activities are planned and which deliverables, what will be the result of each activity. On the screen now you see one example of activity. This is minimum of information. The target wasn't to provide some I don't know, some brilliant example that you can copy to your application, just to understand the logic. So the activity's title is involvement of stakeholders to find out about challenges, solutions for maintenance of some nature parks. Then you have to specify start and period for this activity, and in description, just briefly describe what is planned, and from this description we already might understand which deliverables you would plan. So this description would be that partners are going to develop methodology on efficient maintenance of nature parks, and that's why some thematic conference and discussions for specialists will be organized. Please remember that input fields are limited. Unfortunately, or it is good for you, for us, because sometimes there are some projects that write too much, and in opposite, some projects have lack of information. So for description of activity, you will have 3,000 characters. It's maybe it's sufficient actually to describe activity. For deliverables, you will have less information. And for activity, please select partners involved, not only partners who are paying, let's say, for this conference, yeah, but also who will participate, so that we understand which partners will be involved in a particular activity. The next level, so we are going from activity to deliverable. And what is a deliverable? As I already mentioned, it is a result of activity. The information about deliverable must be really detailed so that we understand who will do, what will be done, when it will happen, where it will happen, why it is needed, and who will use the deliverable. From descriptions of deliverables activities, during assessment, we understand what the project will deliver. Questions for deliverable description are quite substantial, and those who participated in first call, you might say that the place for description of deliverable might not be enough. Yeah, 300 characters. It's maybe not so much of information can be put here. Therefore, to answer all these questions, please try to be short and still to provide this information, or to use the input field for activity to put all this text, or also you can use attachments of the application. We are not promoting this very much, otherwise the assessment would be really complicated for each activity deliverable to open additional files. But still, if you feel that you need to inform the program about some important information about some activity deliverable, you can attach the file and within the description of deliverable to make reference that additional information is available in attachment. So on the screen now you see an example for a deliverable that is an event, continuing logic of activity. I informed before that some thematic conference would be organized, so the deliverable is organized thematic conference, and in the description please specify what will be done, so the conference, where in Zarasai, how many participants, up to 60 participants. I put up to because not always you can be sure how many participants will come, but still for assessment, for coverage of the target groups, we need to know this information. Yeah. Who will do? Involved partners, 1 day event, 2 day event, when will be done, in which period, and also one recommendation based on the first call results. If you are planning mixed groups when Lithuanians meet Latvians, it's very important, and from this fact we see that cooperation happens. So please also specify if in this event there are planned groups, mixed groups of Latvians and Lithuanians. Yeah, delivery period, number of characters, please remember all this. The next example is about purchase of equipment. Any kind of equipment can be in the projects, of course. Just an example, some equipment for some exposition. So please tell us why this equipment is needed. In my example, it will be purchased to create some thematic exposition in some museum, whatever. It will be purchased by the lead partner. The exposition will consist of some artifacts, furniture, interactive screens. So more details you provide, it is more clear what project partners are going to deliver, and if some product or methodology would be demanded, interesting by the target groups. Also, specification of equipment you can put to the attachments, because in the deliverable you will not be able to number or name all these items, and it's not needed even. Yeah, just prepare a separate file with a list of equipment, some specifications, costs, and put it to attachment, but please specify name of files so that we can easily navigate, because in attachments sometimes there are a lot of files, I don't know, 50, 30, even there were cases with hundreds of files, and then if there is no reference to the title of file, we need to open every, and then the assessment, it's really complicated. Yeah, and also maybe again to remind you and to tell some observations from the first call, more details you provide, more information we can get from the project and can understand what will be done, because the assessors are not in position to imagine, yeah, what will be the product, who will use it, maybe this, maybe that person or target group. If it's not written in the application form, the scores are lower because it's not written, it's not clear. Yeah. The next example for deliverable that is related to some renovation reconstruction works. In my example, there could be some renovated craft center in Zarasai. Please, in general, describe works that will be done, simple renovation of some ground floor of some manor house. approximate square meters, this area that will be done. Why I'm saying approximate? Because during project implementation, there might be deviations that cost estimates were submitted, for example, for 633 square meters, and then by fact 340 meters were renovated. Yeah, so some small deviations are possible. I'm not saying about hundreds, big changes. Yeah, then this is already change, but some square meters can deviate. Yeah, and describe main works so that we understand the volume, changes of windows, but again, don't go in the very details, because for all renovation works, you will have cost estimates, technical documentation that contains all this technical and detailed information. The next example is about preparation of documents, development of some concept, management plan, any document that can be planned in the project. In my example, it's a concept on management of parks. Again, who will develop, why this document is needed, who are end users, is endorsement or inclusion in planning documents of this particular concept is planned, and reference to legal acts or some description if there are any official requirements for this document. I would say that, again, from the first call projects, this information was missing for projects for social priority, for nature priority, when some plans were planned as a measure the main results of the projects, but there was lack of information how this document would be used after project end, during project, who would use it, how it would be officially endorsed, because I would say in the most cases, development of document, the main result is directly linked to the project main output and result. And this is mandatory information for us to know how this document will be used and if there is any demand for it. And support letters also need to be provided to justify that exactly this concept of management parks is needed and which target group who will be using it. One of the change of the program manual for the second call in section 4.4, program and project intervention logic, you will find more examples, not even examples, but more instructions how to plan deliverables and activities and what to put into descriptions. We updated and a bit worked on this section in order to ensure more qualitative and more clear descriptions of activities and deliverables in the applications. Those who will have investments will need to fill in a section about investments. So to plan activity and deliverable for investment, yeah, and also to fill in separate section investments, specifying location of object, technical documentation, risks, some other information that would be provide details about a particular object. But please fill in investments section only for investments that are planned under cost category 6, investments in infrastructure. For equipment, this section is not needed. And again, reminder, don't create separate work package for investments in the application form. But again, if you have doubts, maybe you can consult with GS on some particular project idea, because if you have a number of investments in your project, maybe it would be logical to create thematic work package for investments. Yeah, but this is case by case. We don't encourage to create separate work packages for investments, but still, depending on project idea, it might be a case, but please consult with us. Project management, also, we have got quite a lot of questions for the first call, and sometimes already now we asked, do we really don't need to prepare work package for project management with activities and deliverables? Yes, it's true. In the present system in GEMS, there is no separate work package for project management. There is separate section C7 with particular questions, 4 big questions about project management, coordination, how will be ensured quality in your project, how communication will be ensured between partners, and financial management and reporting procedures. I would say in 20% maybe of all applications submitted for the first call for proposals, still they created this work package for project management. And then if a project goes for approval, anyway, we ask to delete this work package because it's not needed. All information must be presented as free text answering to all these 4 questions in section C7. Time plan. In your application form, you will see a separate section, time plan, where a system creates, let's say, a visual and you will see in GEMS how all these deliverables and activities will be broken by periods. So the period will have 6 months length each period, and please plan activities realistically and in logical sequence. Also, what we have noticed, and we are really checking it during assessment, that there are no major activities. I mean, big renovation works or some activities deliverables delivering main project results planned at the very project end. Then such planning puts on the risk achievement of project objectives and successful finalizing of project objectives. And also for investments, try to plan in purchase of equipment some major activities in the second, third period, I would say, in the middle of project implementation. Don't put to the end. Just also to remind you or to inform that all project outputs, activities, and deliverables must be finalized within planned project duration. Andrei is also already told that maximum project duration is 24 months. So you have to plan that all these activities deliverables are finalized by the end of this period. Yeah, and as I said, that don't put all this to the last reporting period. If the project will be selected for funding, we will ask to correct and to replace activities deliverables between periods. Now we came to, I would say, really main topic, planning outputs and results. I would say that for the first call, it was really challenging for partners, for us also to assess outputs and results. And good news that already Ilse positively mentioned that we have worked and added more instructions to the program manual, to the Annex 1, how to plan correctly outputs and results, what are solutions, what are piloting actions, how to deliver them, and how to plan them correctly. And we really hope that it will be very useful for planning, for implementation stage, and also for us to understand what the projects will deliver. So I will start with mandatory outputs and results that are not changing, actually. Who participated in the first call, you remember that for each project there is one mandatory output must be present: organizations cooperating across borders, and it must be linked to corresponding mandatory result: organizations cooperating across borders after project end. The target value usually for this output is the number of project partners. Please, for output, plan the target value in one work package so that there is no duplication between work packages, and output target value cannot be 0. And for the result, how partners will cooperate after project end, we would like to see in the description of this result that the cooperation agreement will be signed between partners, so that we know that cooperation will not end with the project end date, and the cooperation agreement will be signed, and cooperation will continue at least 1 year after project end. And the program will ask partners to report on achievement of this result, how this cooperation will be ensured, and this report will be asked within a year after project end. What is new for the second call? This already was a bit touched with by Ilse, but still will remind you and put also in red so that you don't forget that for priority 1, for specific objective 2.1, we ask also one more mandatory output, pilot actions developed jointly and implemented in projects. So this is mandatory, with corresponding result, solutions taken up and upscaled by organizations. So for these two, let's say priorities, priority 1 and specific objective 2.1, these outputs and results are mandatory. As I mentioned, detailed description what are pilot actions and solutions, please read in Annex 1. If you have any questions, feel free to contact GS to understand and to plan correctly. Because also for the first call projects, assessors put a number of conditions to correct, to understand what are these outputs and results delivered that will be delivered by projects. This table is a reminder for you that you can use from presentation, just a short summary of outputs and results for all priorities, which are mandatory, which are not. For tourism, second output is still optional, and the mandatory is just about organizations cooperating across borders. For social priority number 3, also jointly developed solutions, output is optional, with the result solutions taken up and or upscaled by organizations is also optional. Please remember that contribution to outputs and results is a part of strategic assessment of a project where bigger scoring is given. Just check assessment criteria when you are preparing the application form and check whether the outputs and results are planned correctly. And use Annex 1 as your detailed guidance. Some words about durability. The application form has input field about durability. There are three questions. As we already mentioned maybe several times today, but it's still important to plan project activities, outputs and results so that they keep working, exist after project end. When preparing application, please describe who will be the owner of developed so that developed product, method, service is working after project end and covering and reaching the target audience. Exactly in the input field C8.2, please describe how durability will be ensured, who will use, how it will be done, and transferability if project output and results can be used by someone else outside the project partnership. For example, some good developed methods can be overtaken by any other municipalities, some other organizations. That would be really good to know that outputs and results are useful not only for the project, but they can go beyond the project structure. Now we came to common mistakes recommendations from this first call. It's already good that we had some experience with the first call, and now we can share with you and recommend how to avoid some mistakes and how to improve. Maybe already now some you are already developed activities and project idea. Very important thing to stress out, please specify information under relevant input field of the application form. This was really a major issue during assessment of projects from the first call, when we were reading the projects, so some activities, deliverables planned, but still some information is missing. And then you're reading over and over the application form for 5th time, and then unexpectedly you find the information, I don't know, about some product or service, and the information is in the partnership input field. So it's not our task to find and to investigate in which input field the information is hidden. Please be precise, answer the questions, and provide relevant information. And if information will not be found or specified in exact input field, just scoring will be lowered for incorrect work plan, for incorrect provision of information. In details, please describe how project ID and approach will be working, who will be users and benefits. I already mentioned and touched this for preparation of the work plan, but still, when you describe your idea, the approach, please give details, because we have seen, and actually it refers to the most part of applications, I would say, that partners write that we will develop, I don't know, tourism route. 5 words are written in the activity. Tourism route will be developed. No information is provided anymore. So we are not imagining what will be the route, who will use it, will it be interesting or not, who will come to this route. Yeah, please provide all these details. Even if it seems to you too detailed, better to provide detailed information than we don't find details and we put lower scoring. Yeah. Carefully plan outputs and results, because it affects strategic assessment, and the points also might be lowered if outputs and results are not correct. For tourism projects, don't overestimate target value for project results. Visitors of cultural and tourism sites supported. In some projects, we have seen that some millions were put. Don't use the logic that more target value you put, more chances to get approval. It's not working like that. We are checking, we are asking, and if we see overestimated numbers, we will ask to correct anyway, or even remove. Of course, logically plan project activities and deliverables. By the logic, I mean logical sequence. If, for example, methodology needs to be developed, then at first, the logical way seems to be that some working meetings are held, I don't know, some on-spot visits, some preparatory works are done, then the methodology, then, I don't know, promotion, because we have seen cases then in some first periods promotion are done, promotion activities are planned for some already developed result, and then you open the work package and see that this methodology, whatever, some result will be developed at the end. And then we don't understand the logic of activities and how these all will be delivered. Explicitly describe project activities and deliverables, this I already mentioned, and have a clear and logical time plan. Don't plan separate work packages for management, investments, communication, just stressing once again, because these all are common mistakes for first call projects. Provide clear information on ownership and durability of project results, because also we have noticed that usually partners write some general information. Yes, we will maintain these, I don't know, results, we will do our best, but no details are provided. Who will do it, especially if the product is very much specific one. For example, some, I don't know, some, again, tourism route will be functioning, or some exhibition will be working. Yeah, who will ensure it? Will there be any staff working on that who will give out some equipment or will meet visitors? Yeah, these are details, but still from these details we understand the whole picture of project and project idea. And the general recommendations when preparing the application, just choose short, clear, fitting title, especially acronym, so that you announce about your project and it is attractive and noticeable. Prepare a summary in 3 languages, but in informative way and not long descriptions, just short, precise, and when we understand what the project is about. Plan durability, that the project impact still lasts after project end. And when the application form is almost prepared, just open assessment criteria and check, use it as a checklist and check if you fit for these points, for this criteria, and what the feeling you have. Would you go through the assessment or not? If you feel that some information is missing, just open your application form, maybe work more on some problematic or some gaps that you have noticed. Yeah, small insight how to apply. So I think major part of our participants, you already know that we use JEMS, Joint Electronic Monitoring System. The application is happening online. Here on slide you see direct link to the system, and you can also visit it through our program website latli.eu. Just go to the system, register, activate your user, open. Immediately when you open the dashboard, you will see that second call for proposals is open, and there is a blue button when you can apply. When you press it, then you will see like screen number 2. You have to provide project acronyms, some minimum information, press create project application, and then with the number 3, you see the whole application form, and you can navigate between sections, and you see the menu on the left side. It's the navigation system is quite easy, and the first call showed that applicants didn't have a lot of questions, especially when we have our instructions, guidance for joint electronic monitoring system that you are free to use. So my last slide is for information, just again to remind you, to stress again that duration of the call is until 21st June. 5 o'clock, and after this time, even technically, it's not be possible to submit any applications. Main documents, please read carefully program manual for the second call for proposals, use guidance for joint electronic monitoring system, and documents for applicants pack. These are mandatory main 3 documents. And of course, apply for consultations with GS when you have ready your project idea, because at consultations, we can provide our feedback directly on your project idea, and we can help you to direct you to provide some recommendations. So good luck in preparation of applications. If you have any questions, please ask.